You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, this is Stevie J from AngryMarks.com, and it looks like there's not going to be a Tuesday night AMP with Sierra and Frank Vaughn tonight due to a power failure at producer Killa Kev's house. Since there's nothing we can do about acts of God, I thought I'd give you a breaking news update instead with all the latest from the worlds of wrestling and MMA. So here it is, your bonus audio for Tuesday night from Stevie J. We start with the news from TMZ that Sunny, also known as Tammy Sytch, is now out of prison after having served 114 days. It's a conditional release for the next 2 years, which means if she gets in trouble again in that time, she's going straight back to jail. But as of right now, her plan is to move to New Mexico and get a fresh start. And apparently, if you believe what TMZ has to say, she had a hysterectomy while she was in prison due to cancer, which I'm sorry to hear. It could be a sympathy play. I sincerely doubt it. I don't think you would make up something like that. Then again, she's kind of batshit crazy. And what's not crazy is the Raw rating is up this week, which you could expect given that there was a pay-per-view on Sunday and people would tune in on Monday just to find out what happened. 2.96 in the Nielsen, 4.23 million viewers. And the good news is that it went up as the show went on, 4.08, 4.30, and 4.31 million viewers by the end. Ring of Honor officially confirmed that Jay Briscoe will defend his ROH World title against Mark Briscoe at the June 22nd Best in the World pay-per-view. Nigel McGuinness had these comments on ROHWrestling.com. I look at Best in the World and I see an event that should showcase why Ring of Honor is the best wrestling on the planet. 2 years ago it did just that with Davey and Eddie's epic scrap, and last year with Kevin Steen as champion, he and Davey demonstrated why our world title is the most important one there is with how hard they fought. So this year, what better way to celebrate honor than with a good old-fashioned family feud between two of our founding fathers? So there you go. Nigel thinks it's a good idea. Ring of Honor thinks it's a good idea. It's gonna happen. Speaking of things that are gonna happen, Mark Hunt did get his visa, and he is official for UFC 160 this Saturday night. He was so happy about it, he said, "Thank you for my visa, Father," on Twitter. I assume he means Heavenly Father, or maybe he just thinks of Dana White as his dad. But either way, he's very grateful right now. And so are we, because I really wanted to see that fight with Junior Dos Santos, and it will take place. What won't be taking place is the previously scheduled UFC 161 main event of Renan Barao defending his interim title against Eddie Wineland. Unfortunately, he has some torn ligaments in one of his feet, and he won't be ready to compete, and there was no available replacement, so that fight has been scratched. Moving up to the main event slot in its place will be Rashad Evans versus Dan Henderson, although it would only be a 3-round fight and not a 5 as per usual main events. I think that's only fair given they're moving that fight up and neither guy had been training for a 5-round fight. Not that I'm saying they wouldn't have the cardio for it, but then again, it's the way you train for a fight. You train for the amount of rounds you're going, so it's kind of unfair to make them go an extra 2 at this date if necessary. But who knows if it'll even be necessary. We'll see. What is necessary is they need a new writer for the head of creative in WWE, because Adam Redman, the guy who took over for Eric Pankowski a couple of weeks before WrestleMania, has already been sacked after only 6 weeks on the job. Sources are saying that he wasn't a good fit and didn't do well in the position. Last but not least, UFC heavyweight Daniel Cormier, who just recently beat Frank Mir on Fox, says he wants another fight on Fox at UFC on Fox Sports 1 on August 17th. Quote Cormier, "I want to fight on the first card on Fox Sports 1 in Boston, and I hope my man Chael Sonnen is fighting Wanderlei Silva next to me. Put us on the card, boss." And that's your news for the evening of Tuesday, May 21st, 2013. I want to thank MMA Junkie, Wrestling Observer, The Pro Wrestling Torch, UFC.com, Ring of Honor Wrestling, and TMZ for the news in this update. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for Glove Up or Shut Up, previewing UFC 160.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.